one of the things that keeps coming up is what true allyship is, and I don't think we talk about it much on this podcast, even though we try to show by example what an allyship is. But I found myself getting very uncomfortable with specific people in my work environment who claim they are allies, and I don't think they are, or not even are. I don't think they realize what being an ally is. Just because you can exist with somebody that is that is gay, lesbian, bisexual, trans doesn't mean you are an ally just because you can exist with them. Like, there's some underlining things that I think you either naturally have, which I think you do, which is just loving people for who they are and loving yourself. And I think a true ally really is comfortable with themselves. And
that's a
which
really
makes
interesting
somebody like me really comfortable and safe. Because I can walk in a store and I am, can be hetero passing, and if I want to or if I need to, but like to truly feel safe emotionally and
and
consciously
to be yourself
with somebody. And people get on us when we chitter chatter and fight and get like, but like part of that is because I do trust you, and you've opened your doors as an ally to allow me to be Daxton and not snap back at me or anything like that. And it's just such an interesting topic that I'm still, this whole past 2 years, because I've, with Finding Mr. Christmas, being around a lot of heteronormatives and being around a lot of hetero guys in my circle, and now doing this show with, there's a lot of hetero guys in my circle, and it's just, I'm kind of a loss for words, but it brings me back to being in elementary school where I was different and nobody understood me. And it was you're either being made fun of because you like different things like singing, or you had to like blend in so you weren't made fun of.
Change yourself to fit
I don't have to do either of that with you. And I think that's the true meaning of an allyship and a friendship. And so I appreciate that.
From my perspective, I feel it's interesting for me because I feel the exact same way, because around you, I'm entirely myself, but around other groups of men, there will sometimes be, and probably more often than not, there'll be this kind of like dominance hierarchy that men assert themselves into. And that doesn't exist with you or any of your mates who I've hung out with. I've become I feel so good about who I am and about my sexuality that I don't feel like when I'm in a group of men that I have to assert my dominance over these other men. I think that comes from like insecurity from a lot of guys.
Right, 100%.
Yeah, and I've seen it growing up. I've seen some of the most intense alpha guys. You hang out with them a little more and you're like, oh, you're just really insecure about who you are. And it's telling.
I mean, gay men are insecure. Gay men are insecure too. I think it's a male thing where we have been taught something certain in our life that you have to be, the breadwinner. You have to do this and this, and then like you put that in all of our different cultures of your masculinity can be threatened if a gay guy is better at something than you are, or your masculine. Like it just doesn't. I'm not saying there's specific people in my life that are like that. It's just, you're right though. It's that we're so much more alike than we think, and we all have insecurities. And I think I was super insecure when we first started like doing this, that people would think that we were together, and it wasn't for me. I was more insecure scared that, oh no, Hayden's not going to want to be my friend because people think we're like, he's not going to want to like take pictures with me or because people are going to think I'm his boyfriend or or he's gay.
Which they did. Which some people
and they did, and people would be like, "Oh, he's gay." And I didn't want that for you, and I don't know why, because it's the bullying. I think of I'm getting emotional. It's the bullying that happened when I was younger, probably, where I didn't want to feel I don't want anybody to ever feel that. Yeah. And I felt bad, like, and then just to watch you this is where to watch you push through that and not that bother you at all is like what true allyship is. And you didn't show any insecurity, and I'm so grateful for that. And I have a lot of straight men in my life that are like that, and I'm finding them and I'm meeting them, and it just has made my little like 8-year-old self super blessed. And I'm seeing that, and and I never thought that could exist, and it is existing. And anyway, that's why I put that on there today. I wanted to talk about that in my
Thank
brain.
you for sharing that. Like, yeah,
thank you.
Warms my heart. And I think it's just seeing you for the person you are, and not for anything else. If you can bear it, I have a story.
You know I can't.
So you might.
But you're going to tell it anyway. You're going to tell it anyway.
And this, I have this story, and I was trying to figure out a lesson I learned from this story, which I'm going to get to afterwards, that I wrote down because I really wanted to make sure it was focused, synthesized, and really said what I wanted to say. So I'll read that in a second. But this is preaching to the choir, I think, because you certainly don't need to hear this, and all of our listeners are allies in some shape or form.
Yeah, for sure.
But on the odd chance that someone listening is on the fence about what they think about gay people in general, or the LGBTQ plus community, I want to tell you the story. It's hard for me to say, but there was a time in my life when I was a teenager, 15, 16, that I was scared of gay people. I was not an ally. I had a couple of experiences that were not great. I was probably groomed a bit in the first gym I went to. I started working out in a gym when I was about 15. And I look back and I was like kind of getting groomed by this 60, 70-year-old gay guy. There was a lot of unwanted touching. Nothing in areas that were sensitive, but just a lot of touching and stuff like that, especially towards the end of my time at the gym there. And also when I was 16, I started acting training. And every week I'd go into the city, I'd catch a train in for an hour, I'd go to the city, do an acting class, and at night on the way home, I'd catch the train back, and I was standing on that platform waiting for the train. And this group of about 8 guys came onto the platform, kind of just like yelling and just attention seeking, like trying to get attention and handing out flyers. Not in an aggressive way, but just like a very in your face kind of way. And I'm standing on the platform and I'm like, oh, I'll take one of your flyers. Grabbed the flyer, looked at it, and I just couldn't figure out what the flyer was about. And then the guy who handed it to me, he goes, so where's your boyfriend? And I put 2 and 2 together. I was like, oh, okay, this is a gay rights activism flyer. Okay, I get what's going on now. And I go, oh, I'm not that way, but I support your cause. And he just got kind of in my face, very aggressive. Come on, I know you like guys. Do you like me? Do you like what I'm wearing? I got kind of freaked out. Then I get on the train and they all kind of surrounded me and started doing pretty like grotesque sexual things, making out in front of me, like, and just asking me about if I was gay and stuff like that. And I was like a 16-year-old virgin boy and I was very intimidated and scared. And for a couple of years after that, I was scared of gay people.
Well,
so
I'm scared of gay people after that.
Yeah, it was like, intense. But the point is, I met some people in acting school who identify as gay, and getting to know them on a personal level changed my whole view of it. And I was like, we're all people. And this is, I just wanted to read this, Dax, because I just wanted to make sure this was said correctly. So I wrote down, this was the lesson for me at the end of the day. We're all unique at the end of the day, and there'll always be a bad apple in the bunch, no matter what group of individuals we're talking about. But that also means there's an overwhelming majority that are good. meet gay people, have a conversation with them, get to know them on a personal level, and I bet any prejudices you might hold drift away when you see them for the human being they are and not the sexual orientation they have.
And that's like the only thing I would change about that is gay, trans, people of color, people that don't necessarily align with your political or
someone
your
different
religious religious beliefs. And you and I go back and forth about how we don't talk politics on here because we want to just include everybody, whether you don't believe in our cause or allyship. Like, I know you're a human being on the inside, and it's just like we just want to. Like, I'm not here to hate on anybody. Oh, I'll hate on you, but
I'll take it.
That's really beautiful. I think that story is a prime example of like there are no like gay, straight, lesbian, bi, trans. There are people that are hurting with egos and bullying it deep within them on all aspects. There are bullies in the gay community. There's bullies in the straight community. There's bullies in every community. And as soon as you bully somebody different than you automatically, we don't get to, you push an ally. I'm so glad you got through that. But like that could have really hindered how you treat gay people and trans people and lesbians for the rest of your life. Like that's scary. Thank God for acting for you and meeting good people.
That's what it was. I was all of a sudden thrust into an environment where I was interacting with people different to me who had different struggles. And if you approach with love, approach with kindness first, and you get to know these people, then like I said, your prejudices against one group of people, you'll soon learn that was just prejudice against an individual, not a group as a whole. Yeah. So,
and we're all just everybody I think on this planet, we're all just trying to make it work. You know what I mean? Like, I think nobody really knows how it works, and we're all just trying to make it work. And like, we might as well just have fun doing it and lead with feeling good. And, you know, I think loving people and laughing, it feels way better than hating.
And guess what? Being different, having people who have different opinions, different views is a strength, not a weakness.
1,000,000%.
Yeah.
That's the whole gamut, the whole gay gamut.